fellas is here.
Hey,
Um,
Yeah.
what's good,
That's
world? We are the Divine Brothers Book Club, a group of melanated kings, and we read books and we discuss them with each other, and we live off the principle of iron sharpens iron. So, we about to let y'all in on what we do, and be a blessing to y'all. And yeah, I'm John, by the way, John of the Divine Family. So yep.
yeah. I'm Glenn.
and I'm Brandon, aka a lot of social media know me at school. I think we got a lot in store for you guys. It's exciting. This is our first run at it, so this should be something to look forward to.
Indeed. Yeah, one of the reasons why we putting it out there now is because it's a need for it. Like, and I know it's other people out there, especially men who share the same hue as we do, who read books, but some of them don't like to share it because they don't want to be looked at a certain way, which is crazy. Because as the old saying goes, if you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a
Put it
book.
in the book. Absolutely.
So we're not gonna let you hide anything from us. So we are hardcore knowledge and wisdom seekers, and books carry a whole lot of knowledge and wisdom. So yeah,
Yeah. Since they've been hiding that, we're gonna share it. It's imperative that we share it. So that's
right.
really the most important thing about this, that we're sharing the jewels and the content with one another, and we starting a dialogue, which is a real important thing. Starting conversations that are, I wouldn't say taboo, but more so conversations that need to be had. So
Indeed.
this is the catalyst for it all. So hopefully it'll bring out more.
So first book we're gonna cover, we're gonna hit y'all for 48 days straight.
48 days straight, 48 laws of power.
48 laws of power. You know what I'm saying? So um G Thing, when the first time you read the 48?
First time I read it, I want to say 10th grade,
Oh,
10th
so
grade in high school.
you read it early.
Yeah, I read it early. I actually read 48 first, and then I want to say like a few years later, 50 came out with 50 laws.
Oh yeah, I got it right over there in the
Yeah, so yeah.
that's one of my with me.
Back then, I feel like it was just as important back then to me as it is now.
Yeah.
Because a little bit before that, I had read The Art of War. So it's like, for me, it's parallels. It's basically the same book to me.
Did you read the 33 Strategies of War?
No, I didn't read. I have not read the 30.
I got the whole Robert Greene.
Robert Greene, yeah,
Like
his collection.
those big
Mhm.
ones. So
Yeah.
what
What
about
about you the first time?
the when did I read it?
Yeah.
The first time I read it, the first time I got privy to it was right after high school, and I didn't read it then. But the first time I really sat down and read it was right when I moved to New York.
Okay. Yeah. That's a
So
good time. Transition. It's a very good book to read
yeah,
when, yeah,
so
coming into new situations.
yeah,
And
and then ever from then I've read it at least two more times,
yeah,
and I always get something new every time.
something every time. Yep.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
about
it's
you,
one of those.
Let me see. The first time I actually glanced at it was maybe 2, 3 years ago, and to be real, the book it put me in a space to where I felt like, oh, I don't really like that. It felt sort of a sneak attack. The whole book felt like a sneak attack type of method to me. So that's my first glance at it.
Okay.
And then I didn't want to finish all the way through because I don't like those tactics. It just didn't feel right to me reading that. And that's just me honestly speaking. Then as I start to realize, like, damn, this sounds like some of the stuff that I see and I read in that book, and I'm looking at people pulling these moves. I'm like, maybe, hold on, maybe everybody is using this type of, what I'm saying, playbook. So now my second glance at it going through with you guys, it's like, yeah, I understand exactly what they mean by all of this now. So each law, I'm like, okay, I can pick an example from it throughout my life for sure. So yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel what you were saying. One of my boys, he feel the same way about it. Like he hates this book, but I'm
Yeah.
It's perspective though. It's really perspective.
It
And
is.
when you say I didn't like it and the negative comments that I hear about it, it's not even negative. To me, it's funny because for me, it's just a change in perspective. If you change your perspective and how you view things,
Yeah.
it'll all make sense, and then you can just it's a 180. It's literally a 180. So
Yeah, I got his shout out to Ron. Ron was like, Ron can't stand this book. And
I can see why.
he's a lawyer.
No, Ron, I know.
And so I'm like, bruh, it's not so much about reading it to try to use it on people. It's just knowing how to navigate yourself in certain situations. Because you're gonna be in them situations. So it's a great segue to our first law: never outshine the master.
Say that one more time.
Never
Never
outshine.
outshine the master.
And then just
Woo,
to
I had to learn that. I had to learn that the hard way.
always make those above you feel comfortably superior. In your desire to please and impress them, do not go too far in displaying your talents, or you might accomplish the opposite, inspire fear and insecurity.
Yep.
Make your masters appear more brilliant than they are, and you will attain the heights of power. So, for those of y'all who haven't read the book, it gives you a ton of stuff, but two of the main things is the transgression of the law and the observance of the law. How have y'all transgressed this law in y'all personal lives?
Um, Honestly, with work
Same here.
in work situations, I've I've been blessed enough to have experience in different arenas,
Mm-hmm.
and in every arena, I excel, and that's not like a brag or anything like that.
You
Pat
admit,
on my back, right,
you admit to. That's how
right.
you know.
But in doing so, you see things that possibly can go better. It can be more effective. Things can be done in ran a lot smoother. And in a lot of instances, it's not your call. If you don't have the authority, if you don't have the
Seniority,
experience, right, or the
all
degree,
those
or whatever the case may
questions.
be.
Yeah.
So there are often times when you have to like, because me, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna say how I feel. I'm very blunt, straight to the point. So I don't it's hard for me to kind of fall back and take the back seat on things. I always want to take the initiative and just get things done. If I see something is wrong, I'll just do it without asking. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
That's how I was brought up. Just get it done, and we'll talk about it later. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But it just needed to be done. But a lot of times you gotta especially pertaining to this law, you got to learn how to take that back seat. And that's why it's important to, like you said, it's more for yourself than it is for you using it on somebody else. It's for you. You got to humble your spirit, because a lot of times the blessings come from you humbling yourself and taking that back seat. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, hey, yeah, 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 and you want to be the lead and take the lead, sometimes you got to take this step back and confer with the leader first and run it by them, instead of jumping in front of them and making them look like, you know what I'm saying? Making them look like they don't know what they're doing, or if they're inferior. Because now you're threatening their position. You're
Exactly.
threatening their power.
Exactly.
So yeah.
What about you, B?
Oh man, shit. Through work and do family too. Especially working with family, man. That's a crazy mix, man. That's a hell of a mix, because it's a lot of ego. It's a lot of ego involved, especially with this law that I feel, because I went through this,
Right.
and it's like they feel threatened that, oh, okay, so what, you trying to show me up? You trying to say that I don't know how to do this? Or it's just that type of energy that it's all the negativity come, then they want to try to pressure you, and their whole thing is they want to make you look stupid. So it's like the law is basically saying, why not play stupid, set everything up together, you know what I'm saying, make it all work for each other, instead of you trying to go against the will, because as soon as you try to make it look like you know more, then man, here it comes.
I'm in the same boat as y'all. Work. Like I done been let go of jobs because it was apparent that I was better at the job than you were, and you felt threatened, and you wasn't gonna be able to keep it going. But I find it interesting that it says never outshine the master. So you still gotta shine.
You gotta shine.
Yeah, like you still gotta shine. You still gotta show your worth, but don't show that you worth more than me, because then I'm gonna have to use some type of finagle to get you up out of here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I must have to start cutting your hours. I'm gonna have to start putting you in the corner by yourself and
It's
putting you in the corner and working, having you work on specific projects by yourself, so I can make it look like I'm doing more. And then once you finish that, I'm gonna take it and then I'm gonna say that I led the project.
exactly.
It's a lot of shit like that.
Totally,
Stuff like
totally.
that.
Oh my god.
Come on, man. I've been there. I've been there, man.
Same here, where I literally watched somebody take the credit for what I was doing, and I just laughed it off. Like, that's the in Troy when Menelaus go to Agamemnon and he like, you're the elder, you reap the glory. And he just like, this is the way of the world. And sometimes
but he was out there getting it in.
You gonna put the work in.
Right. You gotta put
You're
the
gonna
work
reap the glory. Or what B said when he said working with family and that ego, it just automatically made me think of the 10 Crack Commandments. Money and blood don't mix like two dicks with no bitch. Find yourself in serious shit. Like, it's real. Get real. So from transgressing it, how have y'all observed it? Because
I observed it as a okay, I can't say a double-edged sword because it's positive. I look at it as a positive because it's like you're both learning from one another. If you observe the law in the correct way and you apply it the correct way, the application of it, it's a you're learning how to do what not to do, as well as learning the effective way to do it. So in disciplining yourself and humbling yourself, you reap the benefits of it and you get the understanding of it. If that makes sense.
Yeah, nah, I got you.
So that's what I observed from it.
Yeah, shit. My observation was myself as I reflect back on what I was doing, and I'm looking like, okay, well, maybe if I would have tried to honor this law by doing it this way instead of, feeling confident, feeling proud, oh, yo, I can do this, boom, you know what I mean? That really don't. Sometimes it's a time and a place for everything, and that right there, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then it helped me also understand about the ego and about how as males we always want to be alpha male. Everybody want to be the dominant one. Everybody want to be this. Everybody want to be that. So it helped teach me like, oh, okay, to learn about us, you know what I'm saying, in general and how we operate in our mind.
Yeah. We all got a role. We all got
exactly.
A role. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You don't have to be in the front.
It doesn't take away from you being a man and who you are as a person or none of that. It doesn't make you less than taking the back seat or taking
It's being on a team, on a basketball team. We all love basketball and football. I'm just use basketball. And tonight you got the favorable matchup. Like, cook him. This your night to go get your 40.
I'll even go one better. We all in the league.
Yeah.
We're all players in the league. Respectively, we just got out of college where I dropped 40 every night. I led the nation in scoring, and you led the nation in scoring the 2 prior years. And the year that I was first, you was second. But now we on this team together and we all in the league. So who's inferior?
Right.
Like, we all bring something to the table, bro. Unique. So like my energy more than anything.
In the book and how it gives you the examples of people who screwed up with the law and who observed it. After that first time of me really seeing how I transgressed and then being in other situations where I was still working with egomaniacs, I just knew how to I'm gonna do my job and I'm gonna stay low key. Do my job and I'm gonna stay low key, and the universe work it out. Like, I did my job at one spot, stay low key, could tell the person above was threatened, but I didn't have nothing to do with nothing. Like, bro, I'm making sure
my hands with it.
Clean. Yeah. My hands is clean. I'm doing my job, nothing more, nothing less. And then that person got moved out the way.
Mm-hmm.
I got elevated. Just like you said, you get to that point where you learn how to, I don't even think it's being humble. It's just learning how to navigate them waters. Once you sail,
Navigate through the bullshit. Yeah,
once
it's
you,
going.
once you sail in the rough sea,
Yeah,
you
got
ready
it.
for them tidal waves and all that
Bruh.
Like,
stuff.
okay, I recognize
Hey,
what this is.
I
Yeah.
can't tell you that. The value that I grabbed from it is it ain't never been another job that was rougher than that job that I was on. Everything else been a fucking cakewalk. And
Learning experience.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It done built a callus around me to where I done been in tough situations to other people, but to me, I'm like, y'all think this is rough to y'all? You know what I mean? Because of that was like a battleground for me mentally every day.
Straight up.
What was one cool thing that y'all learned from it?
How to prepare yourself for real. That's the coolest thing I know. How to prepare yourself.
Reading in the book.
Say that
one more time.
Anything that you read in the book, like you know how they give the examples of like anything that you read in the book that you was just like, huh?
Oh shit! Not to go over the top, trying to please the master.
Got you.
Oh boy, threw him that party and he was disrespected.
Wow.
Yeah, you doing all this? You feel me? Like, damn, I'm
hey, bro. And when I studied abroad, I went to Versailles, and bro, that palace is crazy. So to think that the other dude had a spot that was just as nice, and then he was like, I got to do something way better. It's just like, damn, bro, just be under the radar.
Something that I wrote down. It was based off of that is like not letting. It has something to do with the ego, like you said, B. Like not letting things get to your head and not taking your position, like not taking your position for granted. That makes sense. Like because your role, just because someone may assume the position of the master, your position is just as important because he couldn't master unless he had you, and vice versa.
Indeed.
For sure.
I got two little cool things. We be reading. I love words. We all writers. So I either like to learn a new word or relearn. And countenance, you know what I'm saying? Like that's such a good word because it's just like, yo, your countenance ain't what it usually is, my G. Like you downtrodden today.
Yeah, straight up.
My other one, the fun fact was, I never thought about it, but it made sense. Sandals were a sign of nobility. You know what I'm saying? And then if you think about it. We from the streets in Inglewood, LA, South Central, like you don't really want to be on your everyday mob and some slides because you never know when something.
First of all, where I'm from, you can't go outside with slides. Unless you're taking out the trash, and even then,
some might.
Risque.
If my homie see you outside with some slides, you're getting packed out. It's gonna be you're gonna have to get out. Yeah.
It made perfect sense because I'm like, yo, a person who got some sandals on is carefree. Like, I got my goons got the shoes on.
Right.
I ain't gotta move a foot. I ain't gotta move a foot. I'm over here.
Interesting.
I'm skating real nice.
Yeah.
And I was just like, huh.
No socks on. Sandals and no socks.
You know? Yeah.
Them open toe ballers.
You know? So yeah, for y'all out there, if you have never read this book, read it.
It's an essential.
Read it. Audiobook. Your audiobooks are an amazing tool. I do both. I'm still very old-fashioned where I like to have the handheld, but you also use that auditory sense that you got and listen because you get something both ways from just reading on your own and listening. So yeah, fellas, anything else y'all want to say?
Make sure you guys tune in for the next episodes. It won't be all three of us, it'll be individual, but make sure you guys tune in every day and we'll drop another law.
Law 2 coming up next.
48 days straight. So like, comment, subscribe to us, and yeah, tap in. So yeah, blessings.
Love.
Peace.